afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of Inside BMW Group Classic. My name is Christoph.
I'm Benny, hi.
And today we're going to show you proper BMW heritage. This is a BMW 328. This is where the sporty DNA of the BMW brand comes from. It had its debut in 1936 at the Eifelrennen at the Nürburgring. It was driven by a gentleman called Ernst Henne. At its very first world appearance, it already managed to not only win its class, but to outrun many other supercharged cars with much larger engines, because it's lightweight, very sporty, very agile. I think it's one of the coolest cars that we have.
It's the package that made it the most successful 2-liter sport car in the 1930s, so this was the weapon of choice if you want to win races. The overall weight was about 800 kilos. The engine is a 2-liter inline 6-cylinder engine. And Christoph, let me show you what I had to learn to get the kind of certificate as an official 328 bonnet opener.
Guys, wait, kind of certificate? He's joking. He has it framed next to his desk.
Perhaps, yeah. So it gets easy here, so you open this one. It's getting a little closer here because you have to watch out that you don't touch the fender. Like this. And then you take those 2 straps.
Thank you.
Please leave it at the license plate so nothing gets scratched. Perfect. And let's open the bonnet. That's the M328 engine. Back then, BMW was a very small company. They had already the base of the engine, the 6-cylinder. They wanted to have a cylinder head with a dual overhead camshaft, but there wasn't simply enough resources. And this is why they helped themselves a little. So they wanted still to go for an angle of 80 degrees for the valves, which they managed, but the camshaft stayed at the bottom of the engine, and then there's a whole mechanic for opening and closing the valves, which results in a strange noise like a sewing machine. The first time I drove a 328, I drove it for 5 minutes, came back to a mechanic and said, "Guys, I crashed the engine, it sounds crazy." I said, no, that's normal. The car managed to have 80 horsepower in this configuration. For the proper races BMW itself entered, they managed to get this engine up to 130 horsepower. They improved the whole car, and this is what we have over here.
Let me present to you the BMW 328 Berlin-Rome Touring Roadster. So once the 328 was established as a very popular race car, it was the aim of BMW to participate in more prestigious races. One of them that has to be mentioned is the Mille Miglia. So for that purpose, they built more streamlined and even lighter 328s. They brought it down to Milano to the company called Touring, and they did the bodywork for it. This is why these look very different.
We have a colleague who was lucky to drive the Mille Miglia. Those cars are made of aluminum, and the heat transfers into the passenger room as well. So after the race, he burned his upper legs completely because he was touching the body all the time. He said, "Okay, I burned my legs, but this was fun anyway."
No pain, no gain.
Those special body cars are regarded within the BMW Group Classic as our crown jewels. 5 million euros as insurance value is not enough for one of those cars.
There's an overall of only 464 328s ever built. There's more than 600 on the market today. So if you think about buying one, please do yourself a favor, come talk to us before you do. Our colleagues, they would know where to look in order to tell you if it's a genuine 328 or not, because there's a couple of fakes around.
Before we say goodbye, Christoph wants to show you his favorite detail on the 328.
Thanks, Benny. It's there, the hammer, the king of tools. Never leave the house without it, especially not when you go racing. Thank you, Benny. Thank you guys for your time. Please do subscribe to our channel and tune in again for a new episode of Inside BMW Group Classic.